Welcome back to Dark Matters. This is a quick update from the realm of England, and Robin Hood is here to join us today. So Robin has had 20 of the realm of England documents stamped, received, including arrest warrants issued under Admiralty jurisdiction. These are our documents. They confirm that policing is being carried out under policy, the Peace Act and Admiralty process, not under the law of the land and not under Lex Terrae. But we're briefly explaining what that means, why acting outside of the law is fraud, and why fraud vitiates all. Robin Hood is here to show what's been exposed and what the remedy is. Robin, are you there?
I am. Thank you very much for having me back.
Most welcome. Hit us. This is quite hard-hitting stuff, so we're going to listen to
Yeah, it's basically on Thursday, we went to the Teesside Magistrates Court. We also went to the Durham Headquarters Police Force, where the PCCs are, and the Chief Constable. We issued documents, including a demand to the Admiralty for the arrest warrants of these individuals, and did the Peace Act document, which we've all stamped, which you will be displaying later, I'm sure. And I recorded it, the interaction. Now, unfortunately, we can't play the recording just at the minute. It's too long to send, so we're going to do a bit of sectioning in it off into different sections so we can send it, so we can get it done after Christmas. And you'll see the police station, you'll see the courts, and they're all stamped and signed by the court manager. They're signed and stamped by the deputy PCC, Graham Hall, not Hull, and all accepted. And you will hear the panic in their voices in the video that we'll do just after Christmas. We've now demanded that the entire police force be arrested, and we're going to be doing this through all the police forces throughout England and Wales, Northern Ireland and Scotland, as they are only policy enforcement agents of the state. They have no common law jurisdiction. They have no authority to arrest or seize any assets whatsoever. They're bought and paid for state actors of the Gestapo nature.
Yeah.
Right? And that is the difference. Now, the police force, they've now stopped hiding what they are. You will see the blue and yellow checks on their vehicles. They're massive now on the new vehicles. This is the Admiralty flag, which means, stop, we need to speak to you. Well, I didn't think we were on water. But this is what they've done. Our roads now are the waterways. The police force are working under presumption and obligation. They presume that we are under obligation to the state through fraudulent acts of Parliament. Parliament is up to its neck in it now in high treason. From and beyond 1707 to present day, from 1933, they've really upped the ante, and they're all working for the Vatican Exchequer, and we've got the evidence of it, which I'll show you at some point. So what we're doing now, the Bar Guild, which is now under licence by the state, Parliament, has issued a fraudulent licence for the Bar Guild to run these Admiralty Maritime Jurisdiction doctrine courts without disclosing that you are the authority within that court. By the illegal conversion of the flesh and blood man into a fictional personum, quasim, or PSC of a corporation that we don't even know exists. Through the Companies Act 2006, the Crown Office are up to their neck in this as well. And these police force now are running from the Pace Act 1984. They have no jurisdiction across the man and are only policy enforcement agents.
Yeah.
It's a private corporation called whatever it wants to be called, because any corporation can called whatever it wants to be. So it can be called the Regional Police Force of Durham, the West Yorkshire Police Force. What they cannot be called are police constables, because they're not. It's impersonation. They're not under common law. They have no authority of the people. And they have no right to be on land.
And when you got the document signed, obviously, and we all know what signed means, but let's not go there. Can you tell us exactly what happened and what the Deputy Police Crime Commissioner said?
It's on the video, but I'll give you a paraphrase of it.
Yeah,
I
mean, obviously people will be able to, see that.
Yeah, once we get that in the new year. Basically, it came round, it was all very pleasant and everything else. I went into my usual slapstick. Here you go, here you go, here you go. Police, all of these, yep. There's yours, there's the chief constables and deputy officers. This is the arrest warrants now for you and all the constables and everything else. Under Admiralty, we will see you in court rem to rem. I said, you understand what rem to rem means, don't you? No. So we ought to know and should know. That's the maximum of law, right?
Yeah.
So we will be stood there as the temple vessel of God, Jean, and also the just naturel, just in rem vessel of Juris, living man, against the in rem administrative vessel of the corporate state, who by illegal conversion, and it comes under the Felony Treason Act, treasonous behaviour, and illegal conversion. It also comes under the Fraud Act, 2006, sections 234, 12 and 13, which were all told to this Deputy PCC. Also breaches CPR 31, 31 to 6, 31 12, and other incidental case laws and rights under the inalienable rights of the Magna Charta. He was explained that he'd gone to, or their officers had gone to, a Admiralty court with no jurisdiction, received a freezing order without evidence, to a bought and paid for judge, a magistrate who has not signed the warrant, who has not signed or had the warrant sealed, and it was issued by HMCTS staff, who are nothing more than administrative building, and it states this in their own documentation. They are there to inspect the building and the license. And they're all working from the license of a different department of the same corporation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is what we've all got to. This is what we've all got to understand. So he was like, well, and he went, and what's your legal background? And I said, I haven't got one. And he just looked at it, well, you know more than you should.
You know more than you should. That's the best thing to do, isn't it?
And literally, I rolled some more stuff off, and you can literally hear him standing up, letting the doors go, shh, trying to cover what I was recording, in case I was recording it, and trying to distort things, and literally ran off. We will be putting into the Admiralty for immediate arrest warrants. They've been copied in for the chief constables, the PCCs, all administrative policy officers that are involved in any way, shape or form, including the magistrate, who is not a magistrate. He is a bar guild licensed through the fraud, in breach of the Monopolies Act 1623 in the licensing of law. Well, it's not law, it's the licensing of legislation. Well, you can't do that either. And it's a fraudulent act because legislation is not law. Parliament does not have the authority to control law. But what the Bar Guild have done through the solicitors, through the barristers, and through the judges have made them, and starting to make them, very, very wealthy people. Because now they're not only double dipping, triple dipping, quadruple dipping, they're getting paid in every which way and another.
Yeah, and I know you told me off camera.
It's all.
They're actually getting the victim funds. You told me, didn't you?
The
judges are all.
Yep, it's basically, if there's no living victim, how can they charge you a victim fund? The corporation does not bleed. It does not breathe. It has no emotions. You can't hurt it by calling it hurty words.
I'm going to do a video on hurty words on our Instagram. I think that's going to be the next one, hurty words. People being put in prison for hurty words.
And this is what they get you to do. And it is only by illegal conversion and state actors. Now, I'm sorry, judges, but your time is up. It is coming to your end. And the people are now seriously getting annoyed. But it's, what do we do and how do we do it? And Lord Denning's famous quote always springs to mind. No matter how high thy fly, thou will never be higher than the law.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, all these judges now are acting above the law, that the law doesn't exist, and they are the law. Well, you're not.
Exactly, yeah.
You are a servant of the people first. You have a fiduciary duty to act in the best interest of the people, and you're not. That is treason. You are now working from a foreign state license from the inner city of London, granted by the fraudulent parliament, which doesn't work for the people. Ever. At all. Right? So it's literally, and if the people wanted to do something about it, and this is where we've got to start looking at things now, right? It's, as we've shown multiple occasions, right? The Crown Office is nothing more than an office of incorporation. It's a corporate office, right? It's not the crown of the people, as many people believe it to be. It is a commercial crown entity for what was laughingly known as the king to make money. Right? So there were two officers for that. There's the king, the public servant, and as we've no longer got a king, because what has the London Gazette openly stated he's a liege lord.
Yeah.
Right? He's not the king. He's only the king of the Commonwealth Corporation. He's the king of the corporation, dead legal fictions. Nothing more. The royal family is not the royal family. It is nothing more than a corporation and the head of the state corporation.
Yeah. As foreign nationals in power, and the German.
Well, they're not only just German, but I mean, they're a proper 57. They're German, Dutch, and bloody Belgian. Where's the English bit in this? Where the only person that can sit on the throne of England is an Englishman. It states in the Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
Right? The last true king of England was the Pendragons. End of. Every king since then has been a state bar guild imposter.
A usurper. No.
Right? And it's there. It is there for our protection. We've now got an instance, and get this now, just telling you this off camera. We've now got Wakefield City Council claiming the protection of the Bill of Rights. And we'll do another intro on that one in the new year. They're now claiming that the Bill of Rights protects them from being sued. After every council in England telling us that it doesn't exist.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say that you beat me to it exactly. So, I mean, again, it's another claim that they've made, isn't it? There you go. How does it protect you and not us? I mean, they're so confused at this point. It's kind of funny.
It is, and
so serious, you know.
It's you can see the timeline shifting again, and they're now trying. But the fact that I've brought to forbear with it, a legal fiction or a legal fictitious person is what they are in Black's Law Dictionary, cannot claim the inalienable rights of the living. So what nonsense are you now speaking? The solicitor that's put it together is just a joke. The case laws that he's put in are there to defend the living man against the overreach of government or corporate fictions. And they're now trying to twist it as a defence for themselves as they are fictitious persons. What? It don't make sense. Honestly, it's getting so weird now.
But it is, isn't it? It's getting so weird out there, literally. But we can be an eye caught in the storm.
Look, the police forces are seriously going to panic shortly. Because I'll be hitting West Yorkshire Police Force after Christmas. They're getting charged, and we'll be demanding to see them in rem to in rem in the Admiralty Court. There's about 30 to 50 cases now ready to go to Admiralty jurisdiction, in rem to in rem in the new year.
Could you just cover that again for us, Robin? For, I mean, people who might just be watching this episode as a standalone, because it's an important key point, isn't it? How you guys at the Realm have worked out that we have to take them to an Admiralty court. And again, it's about jurisdiction.
Correct, it is. When you go to one of these, either magistrates court, county court, high court, or the superior court, right? All nonsense. They're all under the Duns number. They're all fake courts. They're all under the Admiralty Maritime Doctrine. And where do you see a jury? Because the judges now are stating whether you can or cannot have a jury. Well, that's no. That's biased. That's bias. You now must excuse yourself. You will be judicially reviewed. You will now be out by misconduct, gross misconduct in public office. Because you failed to disclose that you're under licence. You failed to disclose that you're not a judge under the Promissory Oath Act, and you carry no bonds of jurisdiction.
Yeah.
So let's not forget this, people. This is why I'm doing the GoFundMe page. I'm now wanting enough money to go to court and demand that I don't care what high-class judge you are, that you have to display your oaths and bonds upon the walls, and we can make a full claim against them. Because the judges are only allowed 5 claims, but they're working from state licenses and state sureties.
Yeah.
Right? So that they now think that they are untouchable. Well, wrong again. because there's a little thing called the Admiralty courts where you can take the people, the personas, and you can meet them in a court because they are of the water, in rem, administrative officers. You are the temple vessel of God's gene, superior vessel. You're also the superior vessel as just naturel, just in rem. So the combination there of you being in rem, them being in rem, you are now both in the same jurisdiction. But this time, we've now flipped the script because we're the senior vessel up in the court. They are mere fictions. We are the flesh and blood. We are the superior in rem to them. And they now will answer all the questions, and they fail to answer or disclose any information. They are then forced into Admiralty military tribunal courts for the death penalty under the Treason Act, under the usurpation of our constitutional rights. And off we go, ladies and gentlemen. And if the military won't do it...
It's just that one line, isn't it? You know, when you got him to acknowledge and sign the documents. It's like, you know more than you should. I think they just never thought that anyone would work the game out, not fully. We all had pieces of it, but I'm not being awful, but they set so many disinformation and rabbit holes down which you should go after and what you should be doing. You should be getting your trust, and you should be doing this, and you should be doing that, you should be doing the other. It's all rabbit food. Smoke and mirrors.
It's all blah. It's all blah, 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 blah. Right? The fact is that now they never thought that some dumbass like me would be able to work out the criminality, the fraud. He even told me, did the PCC, Mr. Hall, that usurption's the big one. And I went, no, not really. I said, but it's a big one, yes. But it's the high treason. And it's uttering, common law uttering.
Yeah.
Akin to high treason for passing documents, knowing them to be false, as true. That's what HMCTS are doing. That's what the judges are doing. So by the time you finish, we've got these monkeys now on treason, 4 sets of treason, through the Treason Act, levelling war against the sovereignty of the king and the real king of England, which is us, because as to the Reforms Act, 1986-2005 Constitutional Reform Act, who does it state that we are? The living executor, sovereign king. We're the king.
Yeah.
Removing sovereignty from the people and attacking them is high treason. Usurpation of the Bill of Rights is high treason. It's the death penalty. It has no other. Never mind legislation, or you get 14 years and you'll be fined £100,000 per breach. Don't think so.
I've not talked to you actually about. I had quite a big data. Let's just say breach biometrics. Funnily enough, it's a bit of a long story, and I won't go into it here. But I'm going to talk to you off camera about it, because if we can show people how to go after their data as well when they're walking into these places, public places, whether it be a supermarket or a bar, whatever, they're doing things that are unlawful, and we can get them on data and GDPR, as we've talked before. But again, all this, it might sound a bit dramatic to people, but it's not woo-woo, it's the law of the land. And as we've said,
Look, what people have got to understand with biometrics, that is the new oil. It's the new gold rush.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
It is simply everything in this world now is run on data farming. Your DNA, your this, that, and the other. They sell your twin placenta. They grind it up, they do all sorts of stuff with it and experiments and are paid a fortune from your twin. They then use you, the living temple, as nothing more than a biohazard farm so that they can create more pathogens to attack certain blood groups, gene pools, right? Stop giving it. Your fingerprints, sold. Your saliva, sold. Right? It is shocking. And they cannot take it. There's two massive case laws.
Yeah.
In England, for England alone, just for the UK alone. Right? Parliament, and they're saying, oh, it's in the PACE Act. I'm not being awful, but I'm going to use my very lovable catchphrase. Fuck off! It's legislation, you map it.
Yeah.
I'm the living temple. Piss off. I'm the temple vessel. Do you want to go anywhere now? I carry God's genes. I am just natural, just in rem, you fucking degenerate. Try and take it.
Yeah, and what this opens up is, and I want to show people, I'm going to take this on as a case, like I say, I'll talk to you about it when we come off the camera, but I will show people how to do it. You know, we can show people how to do this and go and make these companies take back our data, our biometric data. Our data is our intellectual property, but we hand it over to them. And like you say, you know, in a digital enslavement plan, our data is, like you say, it's the living gold, isn't it? It's the oil that fills it, but we hand it over to them on their corporate servers, as we spoke about before. Yada yada, the beat goes on. It's not ours anymore. So where do we go next then, Robin? What's the next move?
It's now the Admiralty Court. I mean, not being awful, but it will be the Admiralty Court. I mean, I've tried to call them this morning. I was on the phone at 9 o'clock. It's just rang and rang and rang. I was on for 35 minutes.
They're probably flagging your number.
Wouldn't shock me, to be fair. Would not shock me. So I'm going to be drafting up this afternoon a quick email demanding the arrest warrants are now issued to me to serve to the individuals.
Yeah.
There's big things are going to come in January. I'm hoping January and February, at the latest March, but we are going to now attack every police officer in the courts. We are now going to put every police officer, every corporation within the Admiralty Court to reclaim if you've had a property stolen by the police that have given assistance, if you've had a non-warrant issued by a court, the judges now will be held accountable, and they will now have to pay for your property, loss, damages, and everything else. And you can get that up to 3 times the value. Right? We are going to make it so uncomfortable for the state, and we are going to demand that Parliament is dissolved. You can't dissolve Parliament as a slave, but as a living sovereign creditor, yes, you can. And this is why it's so massively interesting that when you go on to their websites to fill in these forms, what does it always say in the top left-hand corner? Are you a UK citizen? You have to tick the box.
Yeah.
That proves that you are a corporate citizen, a slave with no rights. That's why they don't have to listen to you. Yeah. So what we're going to be doing now is the document to Parliament to be dissolved. The office of King has already been dissolved. We're now going to make it official.
Yeah.
And there's a few acts that we can use in our inalienable rights to do that. The royal family are going to become very, very sticky at the minute, and so they should be. I mean, they're a disgrace. They're a worldwide joke now, and are repugnant to the Constitution.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid, no. I mean, the law states, and it's a very simple thing, is the law. Anything, any act or statute that is repugnant to the constitutional norms is void gone. But not when you're a slave in fictional purposes as a state citizen. They've literally converted everything that we knew from 1933 into a system of perversion of our own systems. And this is why we have to attack the police first. And I'm talking lawfully attack the police in a court of law. And if that means that we, by our rights as a constitutional monarchy, now set up our own courts of court de jure by the people. It's the highest court in the land. That court can then dissolve every judge. Every judge.
Yeah.
Because they're all working from the foreign state under license of the Bar Guild. That's the trick. And they think they can get away with it because it's a foreign state. Well, sorry to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's not. It was set up in fraud by the Vatican to hold a foothold in England, America, and Italy.
Yeah.
By the three crowns. Right? The Vatican has no right to claim your soul. The state has no right to steal your twin, the placenta, and call it a twin, and then murder it. That's how repugnant it has become. And then sell it, snort it, powder it, drink it. I mean, my God, experiment on it. It is now absolutely disgraceful. And this starts with every police officer that is now a corporate stooge. It's a state actor only.
Yeah.
So the police now have got to be very, very careful. Because the people will be looking for somebody to blame. And the more that this is getting out, the more people are listening now, the more people that are doing their own investigations, which I wholeheartedly support and recommend. But you look at the blue and yellow check flag, see what it means under Admiralty law. Stop, we need to speak to you. So when you get out of the car, get straight out of the car, you fuck off. You're an administrative policy officer. I don't follow the fucking rules of the sea. Disappear. They don't fucking like it, tough shit. Right? We're not under policies. We are not slaves to the state by any illegal conversion, whether that's the 1948, where they went into the inalienable documents and changed them. That's the death penalty, because what does it state? In the written constitutional law books, you cannot subvert or alter one word, not one word of the inalienable documents. You can't take them away. They're not yours. What has every parliament done? Taken sections of the inalienable rights away. Look at the Magna Charta. In perpetuity forever, under Article 1. But they're now saying that only 3 articles exist. Well, I'll challenge that and say, prove it. You've made a claim, now prove it. Because I'm telling you, in Article 1, it says in perpetuity forever. They're articles, they're not legislation, and Parliament has no authority over the articles of law, which this country was built on. And that is a contract with the people in trust law. It is not for Parliament to willy-nilly and go in there, which they've openly admitted in 1888 and 1948, to changing paragraphs, words and meanings so that they could usurp the documents. Tony Blair is a prime example of the worst criminal in English history.
Yeah. I mean, you can see that just in his eyes, but by his actions, most certainly. And like you said, they think that they're going to get away with it, but as we know, ignorance is no defence of the law. And they are, they are committing the most heinous of crimes, whilst asset stripping and calling us all criminals. I mean, But that's the key, isn't it? That's the inversion, the conversion, the perversion, the subversion.
Look, I mean, it gets me that we're selling our police stations off, and have a guess who's buying them? PCCs, with their family corruptions, and they're building them up, turning them into flats and God knows whatever, making mass amounts of monies out of this. And then we're building new police stations and renting them back. It's costing us an absolute fortune. A fortune. And also we go, they're outdated, they were out this. Well, they'll stand for another 150 years. They were built to last in the age when British craftsmanship was at its highest. Not like these tin pot things they're building now.
Yeah.
And the police force has to fall. That's why it's called a police force. It is not called a constabulary anymore. And it cannot be called a constabulary because there's not one police constable in England.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a crazy thought, isn't it? And, getting people to get it into their heads, but in our heads we must.
It is. And the fact is that what they're relying upon is the fact that because we've had this for so long, where we've had the police, and they are now called the police corporation, that we wouldn't know the difference. This is when we go to court and the judge just sit there and go, no, you can't have that, not in this court, out, you're fined, you're done, whatever. No. The judge is now practice law from the bench. He's now guilty and he has to pay all the fines, all of them.
Yeah.
And then must stand trial.
Yeah.
And that's where we need our constitutional sheriff to take over. It's as simple as that. You get in 100,000, 200,000 common law constitutional sheriffs, it's game over. Absolute game over.
Yeah.
Because we've now got a ridiculous scenario where solicitors are now being put up as fraudulent actors as judges. They're solicitors.
Yeah.
In family courts, it's the solicitor.
I was going to say.
That's why they've got no oaths and bonds.
Yeah. They're just getting like Uncle Mick and Aunt Fanny, aren't they? Anyone fucking sits in these days. I mean, it literally is that lawless and ridiculous out there now. Literally, you can see it.
It's because they're all under the Commonwealth Act. It's as simple as that. It's fraudulent to death. It's fraud built on fraud on fraud on fraud by every parliamentarian from the day Dick to now. And it's all been literally a systematic fraudulent abuse of position, an abuse of office, a usurpation of the constitutional rights and inalienable documents. It is an alter of the norms and the contract that the people have been allowed to be governed. It's as simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. Every nutter out there that says the don't exist, it's not real. You lunatics. Start knowing your own heritage. Stop listening to these state actors and lunatics that now want you to walk off the edge of a cliff like sheep, to fleece you, to skin you and eat you. That is all the game is.
Yeah.
And while ever you walk in their shadow, you will never see the light.
Yeah. And on that note, I think we'll round it up. So people out there, please do join the Realm of England. Please do go support Robin and his team. Also, there is a GoFundMe. Please, if you don't want to join the Realm, but please come and learn this stuff. And we don't expect you to learn it for 15 hours a day. But if we can just get people behind us to support us, then we can do the hard work and we can disseminate that down. We can show you how it's done, type of thing. So Robin is working tirelessly at the moment up and down the country to do everything that we've been talking about and to put it into action, into remedy. So we've got to remember that, you know, we are temple vessels of God, men and women in rem, sous juris, standing in our own right. So this is the return of the king, the return of the true kings and queens of this land, not to policy, not to foreign state licenses, but to protect the vulnerable, the elderly, the children who don't have a voice. We know who they're coming for, and this is how we stop them. So, Robin, this is about lawful authority, duty and service, and there's nobody more in service to this nation than Robin Hood at the moment and his team. So, Robin, thank you so much. This is Dark Matters indeed, and we are correcting the record, and we will see you next time.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a lovely one, and don't let the mother drive you down. Enjoy and have a fantastic new year.
Happy Yule and solstice from me and all that jazz. And Robin, what else can we say? Thank you so much for all your tireless work. Have a great season's greetings, everybody. You know, and we'll come back in the new year and kick its ass. Amen to that. Good night. God bless.